So here we have mentioned the two numericals. A solid cube of metal of 0.01 meter side is drawn into a uniform wire 3 meter long. So initially the cube, this is a metal cube. So this metal cube 0.01 meter side, each side is 0.01 meter, otherwise I will write here, this is the cube. So each side has been given as 0.01 meter, is drawn into a uniform wire. This has been changed in the form of wire which is 3 meter length. So this has been changed, modified. The cube has been modified into a single wire which is 3 meter long. Now we should calculate resistance of this wire, and resistivity of the material is given. Okay. So in this case, what I can write is the resistivity is 50 times of 10 raised to minus 8 ohm meter. It is given. I hope you understood. The cube is modified into a wire. This cube is modified. So initially it was a cube, and next it is length, or in terms of length it has become. So here to calculate the resistance, because as per the question calculate the resistance, the two numericals which I wrote here, these are the simple numericals, only that basic level numericals I have given, basic level. So here to calculate the resistance we have an equation, R is equals to rho L divided by A. We should understand first what to be calculated and what the given quantities are. So given quantities, resistivity of the material, and next a simple hint has been given, the cube has been changed into length. The shape of the material has been changed. So now, and of course only shape has been changed, but there is no decrease or increase in the total volume. Okay. So that to calculate the resistance, R is equals to rho L by A is required. To calculate R, rho is given. So now length we have to see as 3 meter, whereas the cross sectional area of this, because we have to calculate resistance of this material, whether you will calculate resistance of this cube or resistance of the length of the wire, we have a confusion. So that to avoid these confusions, what we can see is as when we calculate volume of the cube, okay, since volume of cube is 0.01 to the power of 3, because one side is given, cube metal of side 0.01 meter. So that volume of the cube is side cube we have to do. So this will gives you 1, 2 decimal point if I move to the right side. So 1 into 10 raised to power of minus 2 it will become. So 10 raised to power of minus 2 to the power of cube is around 10 raised to minus 6 meter cube it is. This is the volume of the cube. Now when the sentence it has been changed into a wire of length 3 meter long, okay, it is given clearly, it is changed to wire of length 3 meter long. So that let A be the cross sectional area of wire, A be the cross sectional area of the wire of length 3 meter, the length is 3 meter, hence what I can write is volume of wire is equals to volume of cube. So volume of the wire is length into cross sectional area. So A into length, which is equals to volume of the cube is 10 raised to minus 6. Okay, length is given, length is 3 meter, hence A into 3 is equals to 10 raised to minus 6, otherwise A is equals to 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 3. I can that will gives you the cross sectional area, which is meter square. Now I can write down the equation. Since resistance is equals to rho L divided by A, rho value is 50 into 10 raised to minus 8 times of 3 meter length divided by cross sectional area is 10 raised to minus 6 divided by divided by 3 it will become. Okay. After calculation, it is minus 6, 3 goes to the numerator, like 50 into 10 raised to minus 8, 3 into 3 divided by 10 raised to minus 6. So here minus 6 and minus 6 from this it will cancel. So 3 3 is a 9, 9 5 is a 45. So it is 450 into 10 raised to minus 2, or else the resistance value is 4.5 ohms. To calculate the resistance, it is 4.5 ohms. What we did here, only I repeat the two numericals what I kept. These are the very simple basic numericals. Okay, only to understand how to apply the relevant equation or formula for calculating any physical quantity which has been asked in the question. And here in this question, the given quantities are to understand the first, the cube is there first. For example, this one, of course it is not exactly cube, it has been changed in the form of length of the wire. This duster has been changed in the form of the length of the wire, or I can say exactly cube means I will take this chalk piece box. Now this is a cube. So this cube has equal sides. The side value is 0.01 meter, and this is a metal one, and by some other means, it may be by hitting or something, by doing some mechanical work, it has been elongated in the form of a wire, and so that it is no longer a cube, and total length, the cube has been changed in the form of the length of the wire is 3 meter. Okay, hence the cube, whatever the volume it has, it should reflect in the form of volume of the wire. That is the very important term here. It reflects in the form of volume of the wire, and the volume of the wire is taken in terms of length into cross sectional area. Hence we have calculated cross sectional area here. First we have to calculate the volume of the cube. So side cube, each value is 0.01 each side, cube of that 10 raised to minus 6. How it has become 10 raised to minus 6, that I will show. 0.01 can be written as 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. This decimal point I am moving towards the right. 1 into 10 raised to minus 2. Cube of this, 1 cube is 1 again, 10 raised to minus 2 to the power of cube is 10 raised to minus 6. So that is the volume of cube. Next, let the wire of cross sectional area, the given wire or the changed cube in the form of wire has a cross sectional area A. So this length is 3 meter. So total the volume remains the same. It may be a cube, cube is changed into the length of the wire, so that volume of the wire is equals to volume of the cube. That concept I have taken here. Volume of the wire is length into cross sectional area. Volume of the cube is 10 raised to minus 6. Hence A has to be calculated, and cross sectional area is 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 3 meter square. Now to calculate the resistance, we have an equation, R is equals to rho L by A. Now of course we have one more equation for resistance, like V is equals to IR also we have, or R is equals to V by also we can take, but never here neither the V is given nor the I value is given, so that a relevant formula has to be applied, because resistivity is given and length is given, cross sectional area we have to calculate. Hence the relevant formula is R is equals to rho L by A that we have substituted, and final answer we got as 4.5 ohms. Now come to the next numerical. So here in this next numerical, once again I will read out, hope you can see or you can read the question here. A wire of resistance 2 ohms is stretched. So wire again, once again, it is wire whose resistance is 2 ohms, is stretched uniformly. So this word uniformly represents the cross sectional area remains the same until and unless it will stretch. It means whatever the length of the wire has been changed, it is keeping same cross sectional area uniformly until its length becomes 3 times its original length. Let, for example, in the solution part, what I can write, let L1 be the original length. Whose resistance of R1 is equals to 2 ohms. Original length of resistance 2 ohms. Now, as per the next sentence, is stretched uniformly until its length becomes 3 times. Now, let L2 be the new length. L2 be the new length, which is like L2 is equals to 3 times of L1. It is given until the length becomes 3 times its original length. L2 is new length, which is equals to 3 times of the original. Original value as we have taken L1 of resistance R2. That we have to calculate. Find the resistance of the wire now. When it has been changed, then what will be the next resistance? Okay. To calculate this again in terms of resistance and in terms of length, again the same equation we should apply. R is equals to rho L by A. Now what I can do is, since R1 is equals to, okay, as it is formula, rho L1 by A, and R2 is equals to rho L2 by A2 I am writing. I am not writing the rho 1 and rho 2 because it is a resistivity which is independent of the dimensions of the material. Hence, it is constant. The dimensions which are going to change is length is going to be changed and cross sectional area is also going to be changed. We have to calculate R2. Okay, let it be, it is first equation and it is the second equation. Now we need R2 value, hence dividing 2 by 1, which gives you R2 by R1 is equals to, R2 value I will write rho into L2 by A2 divided by R1, reciprocal of that, into A1 divided by rho into L1. Hence rho and rho get cancelled. We get here is A1 by A2 times of L2 by L1. A1 by A2 into L2 by L1. So now the RHS part, when I consider the RHS part, that is initial volume is equals to final volume. Volume remains the same. Initial value means A1 L1 is equals to A2 L2 it will become. Okay. A1 L1 is initial volume, A2 L2 is final volume we have. Hence what I can take is, so this A1 by A2, A1 by A2 is equals to L2 by L1, which is equals to, what I can write is, what is L2 value we have? 3 times of L1. divided by L1. These two get cancelled. It is 3 by 1. Both are equals to 3 by 1. Hence, R2 by R1 is equals to what we have, A1 by A2 times of L2 by L1, which is given by A1 by A2 is equals to 3 times of, when I write here 3 times of L1 by L1 means these two get cancelled. Hence, A1 by A2 is 3 by 1 into 3 by 1, which is 9 by 1, which implies R2 is equals to 9 times of R1, which is 9 into 2 ohms. Hence, the final resistance R2 is equals to 18 ohms. This is the final answer. R2 is equals to 18 ohms. What we did here, the original length has been changed, double of the first one, so that, sorry, 3 times of the first one, 3L1. So, as it is we have mentioned, and this one volume remains the same. Of course, the same equation we have taken. Initial volume is equals to final volume. When I substitute A1 by A2, answer we got as 3 by 1. So, same equation as substitute. A1 by A2 is 3 by 1. 3 times of L2 by again L1 means again L2 is 3 times of L1. So, this one 3 by 1 times of L2 is 3 times of L1 by L1. So, that 3 by 3 into 3 by, sorry, 3 by 1 into 3 by 1 I have taken. So, final answer is 18 ohms. Now, we will go for the next one. Okay, so next question, it is based on, again these are the basic types of the question. So next question is based on resistance which depends upon the temperature concept. Okay, temperature dependence of resistance we say, where we have discussed in the theory class, like as the temperature increases, the resistance also increases, and for every metal or every conductor there exists a certain constant the constant value of the temperature coefficient. There is alpha something, the symbol we have used, which is called as a temperature coefficient. And with respect to that change in the temperature, how the resistance is going to be changed, that we have discussed. Based on that, the next question is, like in this question, resistance of the copper coil is 4.64 ohms is given at 40 degrees centigrade. Let R1 is equals to 4.64 ohms at T1 is equals to 40 degrees centigrade. So, initial resistance and initial temperature, that is what R1 I have taken as 4.64 ohms and corresponding temperature T1 I have taken as 40 degrees centigrade. Now, and 5.6 ohms at 100 degrees centigrade. Next resistance is 5.6 ohms, just a minute, it is 5.6 ohms at T2 is equals to 100 degrees centigrade. Now, two resistance and two different temperatures have been given. What should be calculated here as, it's a resistance at 0 degree centigrade. Now, at these two temperatures we have the corresponding resistance values. Look at the temperature and the resistance. Comparatively 100 degree centigrade and 40 degree centigrade, its resistance is less. Okay, its resistance is less. Like example, 40 degree centigrade it is 4.64 and 100 degree centigrade it is 5.6. Of course, there is not much difference, but even then some difference is there. Now, with respect to these two data given, data in the sense resistance at particular temperatures, two temperatures have been given. This is the given quantity. Using this data, we should calculate its temperature at 0 degree centigrade. Now, to calculate that concept, we have a simple equation, like RT is equals to R0 times of 1 plus alpha T. We have discussed in this equation. Okay, temperature dependence of resistance. For that, we have a equation RT is equals to R0 times of 1 plus alpha T. So, this R0 is resistance of the material at 0 degree centigrade. Now, directly we can calculate, but before going to calculate using this equation, RT is of course the value of resistance at higher temperatures that we can take. Okay, 0 T is given, that is 0 degree centigrade, but now alpha value is not given there. Okay, so that here alpha value R naught we should calculate. Before calculating the R naught, these two values we know. RT corresponding to T is 100 degrees centigrade and 5.6 ohms we have, because this is higher temperature and this is higher resistance. So that I have taken this. R naught directly we can calculate, but alpha is not given. To first we should calculate the alpha. To calculate the alpha value, directly we can have the equation like temperature coefficient, since alpha is equals to R2 minus R1 divided by R1 times of T2 minus R2 times of T1. When you substitute all these values, like R2 value is 5.6 minus 4.64 divided by R1 again 4.64 times of T2 value is 100 degree centigrade minus R2 value is 5.6 times of 40 degree centigrade. When we solve all these equations, right, it means the numbers alpha is equals to around we get 0.004 per degree centigrade. I am not going to calculate with using the calculator here, you just see. So after solving this 5.6 minus 4.64 divided by, so all this multiplication and subtraction when we do, we get alpha value as 0.04 per degree centigrade. This is temperature coefficient. Now using this, as I wrote, now we can use, since RT is equals to R naught times of 1 plus alpha T. Directly we can go for R naught value. Therefore, R naught at 0 degree temperature is equals to RT divided by 1 plus alpha T. So here it is 5.6 ohms RT value, 1 plus alpha value is 0.004 times of 100. When you solve this one, then R naught is equals to 4 ohms you get. So that is at 0 degree centigrade, resistance at 0 degree centigrade. Oh, I hope you understood this one. It is based on temperature coefficient values. Now come for the next question. Two coils have an effective resistance of 16 ohms when connected in series and 3.75 ohms when connected in parallel. So now directly I have jumped to the combination of resistance. Okay, combination of resistance, series and parallel combination. In the question it is given as two coils have an effective resistance of 16 ohms when they are connected in series, effective resistance. Now once again we should recall the combination of resistances. Okay, and the next, find the individual resistances. For that, like how many coils we have here? Two coils we have. When the two coils, if they join together in terms of series in the sense like this, first coil and second coil, let it be R1 and R2. When the resistors are in series, the effective resistance is always equals to sum of the individual resistance I told, that is R1 plus R2 is equals to 16 ohms they are given. R1 plus R2 is equals to 16 ohms, that is RS, effective resistance has been given, but they are not given what is the R1 value but R2 value, but only the thing final answer they have given. When the two coils have been joined in series, its effective is 16 ohms. Same two coils, if the combination is changed, combination means if they are connected in parallel, like this if they did, that is same R1 and R2 value. Total resistance is 16 ohms we have when they are in series, but when they are in parallel, the effective resistance is 3.75 ohms, like this they are given. okay, with respect to different combinations. When they are in series 16, when they are in parallel 3.75. Of course, it is correct because as we know that in the series combination resistance increases, whereas in the parallel combination resistance decreases. Hence, though the R1 and R2 value, the same resistance coils we have taken for the series combination and the parallel combination, irrespective of R1 or R2 values. Now we should calculate what the values of R1 and R2. So here, as the concept we have discussed, whenever the resistors are connected in series, effective value will increase. When they are in series, it is 16 ohms. When the same resistors, when they are in parallel, it is just 3.75 ohms. Since they are in parallel, the effective value decreases. Okay, hence, with respect to this data, now we should calculate R1 and R2 individually. Now let R1 and R2 be the two resistance coils. Okay, that value we should calculate, R1 and R2 to be calculated here. Given that when they are in series, that is R1 plus R2 is equals to RS we write, which we can write as R1 plus R2 is equals to 16 ohms. Let it be, it is equation 1. Now when they are in parallel, the effective resistance is equals to like R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. The effective value is RP value they have given. Hence what I can write is R1 into R2 divided by R1 plus R2 is equals to RP value is 3.75 we can write. But whereas already R1 plus R2 we know 16 ohms. Hence R1 into R2 is equals to 3.75 times of 16, which gives you 60 ohms. Okay, R1 into R2, R1 plus R2 I will cross multiply here, which is value is 16. Now still R1 and R2 is separate, that we have to calculate. To calculate that R1 R2, one equation we have as R1 plus R2 is equals to 16 ohms, but whereas R1 and R2 is given, but using only these two data we can't calculate. Hence what I will do, I will go to the still basic equation like A plus B whole square formula you might have studied. So that I will take, let R1 minus R2 whole square, A minus B whole square formula is A square plus B square minus 2AB we get, but it never be equal to R1 plus R2 whole square. It never be equal to A minus B whole square is not equal to A plus B whole square, because A minus B whole square is A square plus B square minus 2AB, it will become A plus B whole square is A square plus B square plus 2AB we have, but I am equating this. To equate this, I should make minus 4 R1 R2 like this. Now it is equal. Now I can balance these two equations, because when this equation in the LHS form, like R1 minus R2 whole square, that is A minus B whole square, when I take, the equation is A square plus B square minus 2AB. Okay, simple I will write, it is like A square plus B square minus 2AB, which is equals to A plus B whole square, A square plus B square plus 2AB actually. But what I did with respect to that, again additional is minus 4 AB I took. So plus 2AB minus 4AB is equals to again minus 2AB only. Likewise I have balanced the equation here. Hence now we can substitute the values here, like R1 minus R2 whole square is equals to R1 plus R2 value we have as 16. 16 whole square minus 4 times of R1 into R2, this value we have as 60. So which gives you, okay, 16 times of 16, 256 minus 240, then total is, it is 16 is left. Slightly I will rub the earlier problem. Okay. In the last, what we did is R1 minus R2 whole square is equals to, final answer we got as 16. So when I remove this square and apply the root, then R1 minus R2 is equals to 4. This I will consider as equation 2. Now we have two equations here. Equation 1 is R1 plus R2 is equals to 16, and equation 2 is R1 minus R2 is equals to 4. Solving equation 1 and 2, that is R1 plus R2 is equals to 16, that is equation 1, R1 minus R2 is equals to 4. So these two get cancelled, hence 2R1 is equals to, how much will write? It is 20. Hence what I can write here is R1 is equals to, and dividing it will become 10 ohms. So first value we got, R1 is equals to 10 ohms we got. Now it is simple to calculate the R2. Using any one equation, either 2 or 1, we can substitute the R1 value and calculate the R2 value. Since R1 minus R2 is equals to 4, so that R1 is 10 minus R2 is equals to 4, which implies minus R2 is equals to 4 minus 10, hence R2 is equals to 6 ohms. These are the two values, R1 and R2. Now look at this, R1 is 10 ohms, R2 is 6 ohms. As per the question, when they are connected in series, the effective should be 16 ohms. 10 plus 6, it is definitely 16. And when they are connected in parallel, again this condition has to be satisfied, or this condition has to be satisfied. 10 into 6 divided by 10 plus 6. 10 into 60 is 60, divided by 10 plus 6 is 16. When you divide 60 divided by 16, definitely it will give you 3.75 ohms. Okay. So like this, these are the some basic, very basic numericals we have solved today. Okay. Continue in the next class.